Have you ever felt that strange frustration of working nonstop, saving money every month, and still looking at your bank balance thinking, seriously, is this all? It feels like all my effort is just to keep from sinking. You're not alone. This is the reality for almost everyone starting from scratch trying to build wealth. You follow the advice, cut expenses, get organized, invest with discipline, but when you check your progress, it seems almost microscopic. The numbers creep up so slowly, you wonder if they're even moving at all. It's easy to feel like the system is designed to wear you out before you ever see results. Here's the truth: that slow start isn't a flaw, it's exactly how the process works. Building wealth is like trying to push a car that's completely stopped. At first you push and it barely moves. But once it gets going, the same effort takes you much farther. Money works the same way. Many people repeat the phrase, with time money starts working for you. But few talk about when that really begins, or why results only speed up after a long stretch. There's no magic button that changes everything overnight. Growth comes in phases, and each phase changes your relationship with money. Simple way to visualize this is with the famous rule of 72. This rule shows how long it takes for your wealth to double depending on your annual return rate. For example, at 12% per year, your money doubles in about 6 years. So patience isn't just a virtue, it's part of the math. The first phase is the hardest. Everything depends on your effort. You save, invest, get organized, and the returns seem ridiculously small. You see your balance grow by $201 a month, $300 the next, and wonder if it's worth it. This is the point where most people give up. It's not that investing doesn't work, it's that returns take longer than most people's patience. Let's put this in real terms. Someone with $10,000 invested at 12% per year will earn about $1,200 in 12 months. That's not much compared to the effort it took to save that money. But this stage isn't about big gains, it's about building the foundation. Without a solid base, nothing stands. In the beginning, you are the engine of your wealth. You inject energy, add every cent, and hold everything up. The money can't stand on its own yet. You might be putting in $500 a month, totaling $6,000 a year, and yes, your balance grows, but it's not enough to get excited about. Still, little by little, the balance starts to shift. There's no specific day, no announcement, but eventually your money begins to generate returns on its own. It's like that heavy car finally gaining traction. From that point on, time becomes your best ally. This is the first turning point, when your investment returns surpass what you contribute in a year. For this moment, you're the one making your wealth grow. Afterward, your money starts doing the heavy lifting. At first, everything is manual. You make monthly contributions and most of the growth comes from your pocket. Returns show up, but they're too small to change the game. Over time, your wealth grows and returns become a significant part of your progress, specifically when they make up 51% of your annual growth. Imagine you've accumulated $51,000 at a 12% annual return. That's about $6,120 in returns in a year. If you're still adding $500 a month, or $6,000 a year, your investment returns have just outpaced your own contributions. This is the real turning point. From here, your wealth grows even in months when you don't invest anything. It's not financial independence yet, but it's the first time you see your money working as a system independent of your income. Before, if your salary stopped, everything froze. Now, even if you do nothing, there's movement. This brings a huge sense of security. Growth becomes more predictable, risk drops, and you feel more in control. It's strange at first. You keep making the same contributions, but notice your wealth advancing differently, as if someone else is helping push the car with you. Then comes the second turning point. This is the watershed moment when your investments start earning as much as you make from working all year. At first, that seems impossible, but if you stay consistent, keep contributing, and let time do its work, this goal becomes a natural consequence. Imagine someone earning $4,000 a month, or $48,000 a year with $400,000 invested at 12% annually. That wealth now generates the same $48,000 in 12 months. Your money is working at the same pace as you. Half your income comes from your effort, the other half from your wealth. This completely changes your view of money. Wealth stops being a static number and becomes a second source of income, silent, stable, automatic. It's a parallel job that never asks for a raise, never sets targets, never gets tired, and grows year after year. It's as if every dollar working for you today has children next year, and those children work for you too. This is where the power of consistency becomes clear. Wealth doesn't just generate income, it grows on top of that income. When this happens, even your view of work changes. Working stops being a desperate necessity and becomes a choice. The fear of being fired loses its grip when you realize you're no longer living on the edge all the time. Now you have breathing room and option. That's what defines freedom: having options. If your work environment turns toxic, you can leave without your whole life falling apart. If you need a break to catch your breath, you can take it without guilt. If a project doesn't make sense, you don't have to accept it just to make ends meet. Problems still exist, no one lives in a perfect world. The difference is you no longer face everything with that crushing sense of urgency. There's a quiet calm that comes with reaching this state. It's not a party, not some romantic idea of making it. It's something more subtle, the feeling that you've regained control of your time. Your wealth starts supporting you quietly, without noise or show, and without demanding you become someone else. In practice, this is much more freedom than any fantasy of becoming a millionaire. It's not about buying everything, it's about being able to choose how you spend your day. Your salary stops being the boss of your life. Make decisions with more clarity and calm. You make plans that once seemed distant. And the most curious part is that this feeling appears before you reach complete financial independence. You don't need a ton of zeros in your account, just reach the point where your money works as well as you do. Now comes the third turning point. This is when financial freedom stops being a dream and becomes something real. It's when your wealth can cover your living costs using a safe withdrawal rate, usually between 4% and 5% per year. This happens, everything changes. You no longer work out of necessity but by choice. Think about it. Someone with $1,250,000 invested withdrawing 4% a year generates about $50,000 annually. That's practically yearly income, but you don't have to sell your hours to get it. And the best part, the principle stays intact, growing and working on its own. This phase is when money takes over the role your effort used to play. It's not about retirement, it's the start of a new chapter where working is something you do because you want to, not because you have to. Weight of pressure disappears. You start thinking more about how to use your time than about how much you're earning. Another important detail, even if you stop investing, your wealth keeps growing on its own. Compound interest reaches its full power. Money becomes a system that feeds and multiplies itself without you having to do anything but leave it alone. This is when growth really takes off. What used to take years now accelerates. You see your wealth doubling in shorter and shorter intervals. From $400,000 to $800,000, from $800,000 to $1 million, from $1 million to $2 million. A $1 million portfolio earning 12% per year doubles in about 6 years with no new contributions. At the start, this seems like fiction, but over time you realize it's just math. When your wealth grows faster than you can spend, the process stops being a straight line and becomes a curve that rises ever more quickly. This is where the concept of true wealth really makes sense. It's not about working until you drop or saving just for the sake of saving. It's about reaching the point where your assets do the heavy lifting and you reclaim what's truly your greatest asset, time. Time stops being traded for money and starts being lived. And it doesn't matter if you reach this level at 30, 40, 50, or 60, or even if it takes longer than you imagined. The point isn't when you arrive, but that you keep going until you do. Most common mistake is stopping just before everything starts to accelerate. In the beginning, investing is slow, exhausting, even frustrating. You put in money, watch your results grow slowly, and wonder, does this really make a difference? It does, but only for those who stick with it until compound interest truly kicks in. Remember the story of Ronald Reed, a janitor and gas station attendant in the United States. He never had a high salary or expensive education, but he had something rare: consistency. He invested small amounts in good companies and let time do the work. He didn't sell out of anxiety, didn't try to predict the market, and never gave up. When he died in 2014, his family discovered he had accumulated $8 million. The secret? He stayed in the game long enough for compound interest to do its job. The early years are slow, the later years are impressive, some say, but he didn't even enjoy it. That's fine, he lived as he wanted and even donated most of it. For perspective, $1 million at 10% per year yields over $3,000 a month. Could have stopped working, but he kept going because he wanted to. So if you're in that exhausting phase that demands effort and discipline, don't quit. It doesn't last forever. There comes a moment when, after so much persistence, everything starts to flow. Your wealth gains speed and you realize that the slow start was actually the foundation for growth. The turning point isn't magic, it's math working quietly until it looks like magic. The end, financial freedom, isn't about running, it's about continuing. Compound interest is the silent force that transforms slow beginnings into exponential growth. The key is to stay in the game long enough for the math to work its magic. The early years test your patience, but the later years reward your persistence. If you keep going, you'll see your wealth start to grow faster than you ever imagined. That's when you realize the slow start was the most important part of the journey. Building wealth isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The journey is filled with slow progress, doubts, and the temptation to give up. But every dollar you invest, every month you stay consistent, brings you closer to the turning points that change everything. Over time, your money starts to work for you and the process accelerates. The most important thing is to keep moving forward, even when it feels like nothing is happening. That's how real wealth is built. Emotional side of building wealth is just as important as the math. There will be times when you feel frustrated, impatient, or even hopeless. It's easy to compare yourself to others or feel like you're not making progress. But remember, everyone's journey is different. The key is to focus on your own path and trust the process. Over time, the small steps add up and the results become visible. Stay patient and keep your eyes on the long-term goal. Most people give up on building wealth because the early progress is so slow. It's easy to lose motivation when you don't see immediate results. But the truth is, the slow start is necessary. It's the foundation that supports everything that comes later. If you can push through the early phase, you'll reach the turning points where your money starts to work for you. That's when the process becomes easier and more rewarding. Consistency is the magic ingredient in building wealth. It's not about making huge contributions or finding the perfect investment. It's about showing up month after month, year after year, and letting time do the heavy lifting. The more consistent you are, the more powerful compound interest becomes. Over time, your small efforts multiply into something much bigger than you could have imagined. Time is your greatest ally in building wealth. The longer you stay invested, the more your money can grow. Even if you start small, staying in the game gives compound interest the chance to work its magic. Don't worry about timing the market or making perfect decisions. Focus on staying invested and letting time do its job. The results will come even if they take longer than you expect. Every small step counts. Whether it's saving a little more each month, learning about investing, or simply not giving up, every action brings you closer to your goal. Don't underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. Over time, they add up to something truly significant. The journey may be slow at first, but the rewards are worth it. It's easy to get discouraged by setbacks or slow progress. Many people make the mistake of quitting too soon or trying to chase quick wins, but the real secret to building wealth is avoiding these pitfalls and staying the course. Focus on your long-term goals, ignore the noise, and trust the process. The results will come if you stay patient and persistent. Along the way, take time to celebrate your milestones. Every bit of progress is worth recognizing, no matter how small. Celebrating your achievements keeps you motivated and reminds you that you're moving forward. Building wealth is a long journey, but every step brings you closer to your goals. Stay positive and keep going. In the end, building wealth is about more than just money. It's about creating options, gaining freedom, and taking control of your future. The journey may be slow and challenging, but the rewards are life-changing. Remember, the turning point isn't magic, it's math and patience working together. Keep going, trust the process, and let your wealth work for you. Your future self will thank you.